The gentleman from Illinois.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and to add extraneous materials on this bill.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I may consume.
Gentleman from Illinois is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of H.R. 3187, the March of Dimes Commemorative Coin Act. I'm proud to have introduced this bill and to have worked closely with my friend and colleague from New York, Congresswoman Nita Lowey. This legislation authorizes the minting and issue in 2015 of a commemorative coin honoring the 75th anniversary of the March of Dimes and recognizes their landmark accomplishments in maternal and child health. Surcharges on the sales of these special coins will fund critical research and programs to support healthy mothers, healthy infants, and healthy families nationwide. Mr. Speaker, it's summertime across our nation, and back home in our districts, children are playing outside with friends or going swimming at the pool. But more than 75 years ago, children stayed indoors during the summer. Their parents wouldn't let them go to the park or to the pool because of outbreaks of polio. Polio back then could strike any child, and no one knew what the cause was. The March of Dimes is a nonprofit organization that was founded in 1938 by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt with a mission to eradicate polio. In FDR's day, polio was an epidemic disease that paralyzed or killed up to 52,000 Americans, mostly children, each and every year. Even the president had polio. So during the Great Depression, citizens sent dimes, 4 billion of them, to the White House to fund polio research. That effort funded the research by doctors Salk and Sabin that produced the vaccines that have eradicated polio in the United States and in much of the world. In the quest for a vaccine, the March of Dimes supported many other important research milestones in newborn and child health. For example, in 1953, Francis Crick and March of Dimes grantee Dr. James Watson identified the double helix structure of DNA, and in 1962 won the Nobel Prize for mapping the human genome. Another research breakthrough, Mr. Speaker, came in 1960 when the March of Dimes supported research that developed the first screening test for PKU, a rare metabolic genetic disorder that caused intellectual disabilities. Since that time, the March of Dimes has led the effort to expand newborn screening. Now, every baby born in the United States receives screening for dozens of conditions that have the potential to cause catastrophic health problems or death if not detected and treated promptly at birth. Today, the March of Dimes is leading the nation's effort to reduce premature birth. Every year, nearly 500,000 infants are born far too soon. In my home state of Illinois, almost 13% of all infants are born prematurely. Preterm birth is the leading cause of death among newborns. Many of those who survive face a lifetime of serious health problems, including cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, chronic lung disease, and vision and hearing loss. Preterm delivery can happen to any pregnant woman, and in nearly half of the cases, no one knows why. The March of Dimes National Prematurity Campaign funds a robust portfolio of research and education programs designed to unveil the causes and address the risk factors of preterm birth. For example, the March of Dimes is working with hospitals to implement best practices that discourage early elective deliveries before 39 completed weeks of pregnancy. Thanks to the dedication of the March of Dimes and others, the United States has seen a decline in prematurity rate for 4 consecutive years. Mr. Speaker, the March of Dimes has an extraordinary history of achievement. More than 4 million infants are born every year in the United States, and the March of Dimes helps each and every one through research, education, vaccines, and breakthroughs. The commemorative coin will help fund these vital, important program activities. H.R. 3187 has broad bipartisan support in both chambers of the Congress, with 304 co-sponsors here in the House and 68 in the United States Senate. This legislation complies with all statutory requirements for the commemorative coin program, and the coins will be produced at no cost to the American taxpayer. To claim the surcharges, the March of Dimes will raise matching funds from private sources. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to have sponsored this bipartisan bill, and I'd like to thank the Congressman from New York, Representative Lowy, for her steadfast leadership and hard work to see this day become a reality. I'd also like to thank Chairman Spencer Baucus and Ranking Member Barney Frank for helping to get this bill to the floor here today. I also want to thank my friend from Georgia for him representing Tom on the other side today and for his leadership as well. And Mr. Speaker, for 75 years, the March of Dimes has dedicated itself to helping all infants get a healthy start, to get a healthy start in life, which is what I think is very, very important. I ask my colleagues to join me in voting for H.R. 3187, the March of Dimes Commemorative Coin Act, and I reserve the balance of my time.